In the vast and serene plains of Mamre, under a canopy of stars as numerous as the promises made to a man, Abraham, the patriarch of faith, experiences a moment of rare tranquility and communion with the divine. But the serenity of this night is about to be shattered. A divine voice, clear and unmistakable, cuts through the darkness, bringing with it a test that will shake the foundations of human faith. Abraham has offered his ears and obedience to God, but the command he now receives challenges the understanding of any mortal. Abraham, sacrifice your only son, Isaac, through whom your hope of descendants will endure. Imagine, for a moment, the depth of this request. It is not just a test of faith. It is an invitation to venture into the unknown, where divine promise and command collide in an unimaginable way. As Abraham grapples with the magnitude of this call, we, followers of stories and seekers of meanings, are invited to reflect on the weight of his decisions. What does it mean to obey when everything you love is at stake? How do you move forward when the path ahead is so painfully uncertain? The journey that Abraham undertakes is not merely a march toward Mount Moriah. It is a spiritual odyssey that transcends generations, shaping the essence of what we understand by sacrifice and devotion. Everyone knows the end of this story. But what would happen if the angel of the Lord had not intervened and prevented Abraham from carrying out the order, thereby ending his lineage? How could this change in the course of events redefine the history of countless generations and the development of the major monotheistic religions? I invite you to stay with us until the end as we unravel the mysteries and revelations of this supreme test of Abraham. Prepare for a journey into the heart of faith, the core of obedience, and the peak of unwavering trust. This is the B-side of the Bible channel. Here we present the story of the Holy Book from an alternative perspective. Follow and share our content so that more hearts can be reached with messages of faith. On a morning like any other in the vast plains of Mamre, Abraham, our patriarch of faith, now faces what may be the greatest challenge of his life. This episode takes us along with Abraham and Isaac on a journey that is not only physical but profoundly spiritual to Mount Moriah. The fresh morning air carries with it a heavy, almost ominous silence. Abraham, with a look of determination, guides Isaac, his promised son, and two loyal servants. With each step, the weight of his heart contrasts with the firmness of his steps. How does a man keep faith when each step forward brings him closer to an inconceivable act? This is the paradox that Abraham faces, a duality between divine obedience and paternal love. Isaac, young and still unaware of the fate that awaits him, notices the unusual silence of his father and the tense atmosphere. Curious, he breaks the silence with a question that resonates with innocence and expectation. "Father, we have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" Abraham's response, although simple, is loaded with faith and resignation. "God will provide, my son." These words are a beacon of unwavering faith in a sea of uncertainties. They not only reassure Isaac but also strengthen Abraham, reaffirming his commitment to God's purpose, even when this purpose defies all human logic. With every meter ascended on the winding path to Mount Moriah, the tension grows, reflecting Abraham's internal conflict. Every step is a meditation, each look at Isaac a mix of pain and devotion. But what prepares a father to sacrifice his son? How does he silence paternal love in favor of the divine voice? These are the questions that permeate Abraham's mind as he ponders faith, obedience, and sacrifice. As we follow this path filled with emotions and meanings, we are invited to reflect on our own journeys of faith. How would we respond to a call that tests everything we value? Upon reaching the apex of Mount Moriah, the air seems heavier, laden with a significance that only Abraham can truly comprehend. Without hesitation, he begins to construct an altar. The stones are gathered one by one, each carefully chosen as if the solemnity of his act could be conveyed through his meticulousness. The wood is carefully arranged on the altar, forming the base for what would be his greatest test of faith so far. Isaac observes, perhaps with a shadow of doubt or with the innocence of youth that does not fully understand the weight of his father's actions. He assists Abraham, his father, whom he greatly admires and trusts, unaware that he himself is the central piece of this dramatic scenario. When everything is ready, Abraham turns to his son, and with a look that mixes love and painful resolution, asks him to climb onto the altar. Isaac, still not fully understanding, obeys. Abraham places him on the wood, and at this moment, the story reaches a critical point. The patriarch looks to the sky, perhaps seeking one last confirmation or some form of divine clemency, but there is nothing but silence. With a broken heart but unwavering faith, Abraham reaches out and takes the knife. Every movement is loaded with unbearable tension, but his hand does not waver. Isaac, now fully aware of what is about to happen, looks into his father's eyes. There is no fear, only silent acceptance, a deep trust that somehow this is part of a greater plan. A plan that neither he nor his father can fully understand. On the brink of the point of no return, where normally an angel would intervene, the sky remains silent. The silence of the sky is absolute, and with a heart torn apart, but driven by unwavering faith, Abraham completes the sacrifice. This act not only ends Isaac's life, but also redefines the lineage promised to Abraham, directly impacting the course of humanity. In this alternative ending where Isaac is sacrificed, the absence of his descendants leads to a reality where the great monotheistic religions, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, never materialize. Without Isaac, there would be no Jacob, no 12 tribes of Israel, and consequently, the lineage through which the central biblical figures and narratives emerge would be extinct. This void would leave a profound impact not only in the spiritual sphere, but also in the socio-political and cultural configuration of vast regions of the world. The absence of these religions would alter the ethical and moral foundations that form the basis of Western and Eastern thought, resulting in a radically different historical tapestry, possibly dominated by polytheistic beliefs and local rituals that would continue to evolve in unpredictable ways. Moreover, the story of Abraham and Isaac, as we know it, serves as a reflection on faith, obedience, and the merciful intervention of the divine at the last moment. Without this intervention, Abraham's narrative transforms into a dark lesson on the limits of blind faith and the need for questioning and compassion within religious practice. This fictional scenario challenges us to consider how we interpret and live our faith. To what extent are we willing to follow without questioning? The reimagined story of Abraham without descendants invites us to reflect deeply on how religious teachings and the stories we accept shape our understanding of the world and our behavior within it, highlighting the critical importance of an ongoing and evolving dialogue between faith, reason, and humanity. Did you like the content? Then follow our channel for more amazing alternative stories from the Holy Book. See you next time.